Did you know that Vikings believed that if they fused their ancestors' spirits into the weapons that they were forging, that it would make their weapons stronger? Well, here's the thing. They were right. Well, what they used to do is actually take the bones from their animals and ancestors, grind them up, and actually fuse them into the iron while they were forging it. And little did they know, they were making a rudimentary type of steel from doing that. Because what is steel made out of? Iron and, of course, carbon, which is what's in bones. So they were right. It did make the weapon stronger. So these Vikings right here is where the word berserker actually comes from. And they were feared by everyone. I mean, you could stab these guys, shoot them with an arrow, and they would keep on coming. They would work themselves into an uncontrollable frenzy and would convince their enemies they were invincible because of the way they acted, and were even said to have superhuman strength as well. You know, they were described as red-faced and howling, and would even bite at their own shields and skin before battles as if they couldn't even feel a thing because of the state they were in. And needless to say, yeah, they scared many of their opponents into submission. And even to this day, we're still not sure what they did to get into these frenzies. Some people say it was drugs, others say it was alcohol, and even some people still think it was magic. But what do you think? Ooh, I'm glad you brought this up. So these Vikings right here were often seen as scarier than normal berserkers were. And here's why. So berserkers embodied the spirit of the bear and wore bear skins, but the Ulfrindar embodied the spirit of the wolf and fought with a trance-like fury, similar to berserkers. But here's the thing, if you needed berserkers taken out, you'd call in these guys. So bears may be stronger than wolves, but see, wolves are much quicker. So the Ulfrindar was much slimmer than the typical berserker, but the berserker was based on strength and taking hits, while as the Ulfrindar was based on endurance, stamina, and speed. So this is what gave them their fighting edge over the typical berserker. So there you go. Thank you for your comment. And by the way, I love your username. It's very fitting. Did you know that Bluetooth gets its name from a Viking king? His name was King Harald Bluetooth Gormson, and just like today's Bluetooth unites devices, he united Norway and Denmark together back in 958 AD. And just like the nickname tells us, he did have a dead tooth that was dark blue and gray, which is how he got his nickname. Oh, and the logo is actually his initials in Nordic runes. Women in Viking culture had a ton of respect as well as rights, unlike other women around the world during that time. And make sure you know, Viking women could be just as fierce as the Viking men. See, many of them would even fight in battles right alongside the men and could even establish important roles within their military. And so they invoked a lot of respect. See, shield maidens were common, and they had a much larger say in things than other women did in other cultures. Heck, they could even request a divorce, which was unheard of during that time period.